welcome back to Class Cancelled.
I'm Hayden Burkholder.
And I'm Peyton Burkhammer.
And today we're going to do something a little bit differently.
That's right. Now, we all know professors like to talk about us behind our backs, but have you ever wanted to talk about them behind their back?
I don't know about the whole talking behind their backs, but, you can rate them online on ratemyprofessor.com.
Exactly, and this week we got professors to sit down and read their worst reviews.
Or best, depending on what it is.
So let's check it out.
So my overall quality is 4.3. Is it wrong? I think it's. I don't know. I'm be Japanese, I guess.
I'm very, very pleased that my overall quality rating was a 4.7 out of 5, so it does make me feel good. And, everyone can't be liked by everyone, but...
Dr. Sid is by far one of the best professors I've ever had.
An outstanding leader who's dedicated to his students. That's very nice. I appreciate that compliment.
Professor Pollock is a fun yet tough teacher who engages the class and makes it enjoyable. She's like Robin Williams in Dead Poet Society, without all the sad stuff.
First one here. Awesome prof, plain and simple. Okay, I like that one.
I wish we had more professors like him around. Enthusiasm is the key. I know some students call him Dr. My Dad because he cares. That's funny. My family name is my dad, and sometimes the students have problem with that, but because I care, I guess.
Highly recommend Professor Bass. I love her. She is so nice, kind, and genuinely loves what she does. She wants you to learn and grow as a student. She is hearing, so that was helpful with ASL 1. She provides many extra credit opportunities, prepares you for quizzes, and also provides many sources to help you learn sign.
Mr. Ranser is by far the best professor I've had so far at the University of Akron. He takes somewhat dry material.
Not my cup of tea. I'm sure the feeling was mutual.
Here's one. Quality, poor. Overall quality, a 2. But level of difficulty, still a 3. And yet, no comments. This poor soul was not brave enough to slam me on a social media site.
It reads straight off the slide, so it is the most boring class. Half the people stop showing up after the first exam. If you think that would be wasting your time, don't show up, don't bother yourselves.
Okay, this is from a couple years ago, and he still rated me a 4.5, but he says, Heather takes this class way, way, way too serious. Should be seriously. Tests are hard, and she grades essays harder than both my English comp professors. I would never take this class again and would never recommend Heather. I have a higher grade in my anatomy physiology too. Hated it, if you hadn't noticed.
He really cares about the students and their success. I think that's nice, yeah.
Overall quality, 5. Level of difficulty, 1. A great prof to get to know on campus. So helpful and knowledgeable. Super easy to get along with. Although I was much younger for that review, so not sure if I'm the same level of ease to get along with, but I try my best.
This one tagged me as amazing lectures. I appreciate that.
If you have some kind of problem with me, they tell me while we're having class. Otherwise, I can't fix it. If you say afterwards, like, what are you gonna do? I can't fix it,
Love Kim Bass. She is the absolute best ASL teacher I have ever had. The relationship I formed with her is awesome. She cares about her students and does everything she can to better their education.
Oh, here we go again. Very poor professor. I would never recommend him.
Always, with capital, always tries to inspire students to be the best they can be. I think this is one of those comments that made my day, so...
There is a lot of work, but that expected when learning a new language. Oh, this is language class. That's cool.
Doesn't have control of his classroom, and he doesn't do anything to keep people attending. His tests are a few multiple choice, and normally 1 to 2 short answer questions, which come from the book. Tests are from the book. I don't know if this would be an ideal one for public relations purposes.
An outstanding leader who's dedicated to his students. That's very nice. I appreciate that compliment.
Doesn't post grades online, frowny face. Syllabus not updated and is sometimes wrong, so listen in class for points, tests, whatever.
It was easy, and I calculated my grade to be a high B+, but the professor was ethical and gave me the A- because it was borderline. I appreciated that. Thanks for a good class, Dr. Reno. Okay.
Heather is a great professor. I took her myth class to fill my gen ed. Take her class. She is very liberal and has very intense opinions on certain subjects. I recommend steering clear of those topics. Her lectures are very interactive and fun. If you put in the time, you will learn a lot.
Her choice of movies is excellent. I would recommend her to anyone. She is entertaining as well. You know, if I would like the really Japanese way, I would say 4.3 is really low. And it says entertaining, maybe just plugging for, like me. But in the American way, I would say like, yeah, I'm good.
On the other hand, I'm usually very much concerned with what shows up on my Rate My Professor because I know that students that are considering taking my classes are reading that. So if I get good feedback, I know that, that's always a positive thing. You know what I mean?
I take it really seriously and I look at all the reviews to make sure I'm doing a good job and what I can improve and how to change the class.
I started to get a little weary of it because I realized that students would gang up on a particular professor or a colleague that I thought maybe did have a lot of credibility as a teacher, but they didn't like that person for a particular class, so use it as a way to attack them. But that said, I feel like Rate My Professor sometimes is more accurate than the evaluations we give her at the University of Akron, because students are speaking to anyone they want. They don't feel encumbered by particular questions, and so they just say whatever they want to say about the course and about the teacher. And for students who are freshmen or who are leery about certain personalities, it really can be a great resource to direct them to teachers that might be more suited to their learning needs.
This one is the one that's my favorite, with the professor being like Robin Williams in Dead Poet Society. I always love that one. My husband made a Facebook post about it one day. It was the first day back to school, and he shared that on Facebook and said, this is my wife. And so I think he's the proudest of that one too. But growing up in the 80s, I think that movie is, it's a nice comparison.
This is one resource that you can put some comments for your professors and make connection with your friends and maybe junior students that they want to take same courses with same professors.
It seems kind of like a Yelp for professors. I suppose it could be helpful, but at the same time, I mean, I don't know. You have clearly some people who hate me and some people who love me. I'm the same person.
I do very much appreciate all these excellent, kind words that the students have given me on this rating system here. One can't love everyone. Even somebody even a group, let's say, is as universally praised as, for example, the Beatles.
I think it's a really good idea. I check it out to see how I'm doing as a professor, because I'm always looking and learning to improve my classes.
I like him as a person, but he's a tough grader. You bet I am.
I have to say, those are some pretty interesting reviews.
Definitely. I mean, sometimes it's hard to remember that teachers are real people too.
Yeah, it's probably important that you should, actually consider what you're writing and not just rant on there, because some students go there to see what the class is actually going to be like.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I think that about does it for this episode of Class Cancelled. Be sure to follow us on Twitter at Class Cancelled and subscribe to our YouTube channel at the University of Akron.
And we'll see you the next time that class is canceled.